Hello YouTube, we're back again. Brian Phillips here with the Airbus A380. Notice that the A-380, that's going to go bye-bye. I already took out the dash, but it looks dumb, so we're going to actually cover that up and put the A right next to it the way it should. Airliners is going to survive, that's going away. Lots of cool things coming, guys. So right now what we're doing is we're working on this rudder that we've added. And it's always fun to add these scale details. I'm actually just seeing if I can get kind of this nice pocket going here between the two pieces of foam. Don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try it anyway. So just kind of going for this little relief indentation. Doesn't seem to be working. I'm going to actually just try it with my thumb now. And really all I'm going for is just a little bump. Just something to allow it to hide in there so that the hinge, since we're using this style of hinge, that little area there can disappear into that relief, okay? Which will look pretty cool if it does. And obviously I'm going to hinge it pretty much right at the top. I'm going to hinge it right in the middle, and then I'm going to hinge it down toward the bottom. Oh, I could heat this and then try to dive it in that way too. I don't know if I'm going to have enough control over it though. So what if I just could clamp it on there? Just a screwdriver. That definitely gave me a little dent. That's what I was going for. Unfortunately, it's not long enough to reach all the way in there. Just a common problem I've always had. Just a joke, people. Oh yeah, look at that. That worked pretty good. So you use just the groove of the Phillips bit, but now I'm going to tip it. By the way, still waiting on my royalties check for that, but anyway, whoever's in charge of that sort of thing. Cool. Got a little groove. Oh yes. Oh yes. That actually looks pretty awesome. I'm happy with that. Okay, cool. Now, next thing. This is going to be a temporary thing, okay? Got to make sure you have somewhere to go with your hinge. So when I say at the top, I mean at the top as much as you can make it at the top. Okay, so that's as much as it can be at the top. Okay. So we'll just take this and kind of give it an indentation. And then from the indentation, we will cut right in like that. Super simple, super effective. Drop this hinge in. Dubro makes good stuff. I just kind of wish they'd be a little bit more economical. I feel like they kind of rip you off when you buy these things in small packs. But they are better quality than the Chinese kind, I guess. Even though they're not really that different. Okay, so now this one, I got to be careful where I put this one because I need to make sure I leave room to receive my little control arm, okay? So that can go as low as it can go, which is going to be there, okay? We're just going to cut right in the middle this time, okay? Notice I'm not taking any material out, I'm just making a slit. You don't need to really take any material out, okay? So now, once I got 2 points in there, I can go ahead and marry up the location, which up here should be pretty straightforward because I can see real good. I'll just kind of make a little scrape, vertical scrape. Now I usually like using those finger hinge doohickeys, but I've just been having really good luck with these the last few times. So I'm just going to go with these. CA hinges just get old. They they don't always work the way you want them to, and it's really frustrating when you put those finger hinges in and then they don't work the way you're expecting them to, you know. Oh geez. Just make sure you get that sucker right in the middle. That'll screw you up quicker than anything else. You don't get it in the middle, it will not rotate very easily. It will, but it just won't work very easily. Okay. You see how this decal is popping off, guys? I actually have decal adhesive. Do I? Where is that stuff? It's somewhere in here. Where the heck are you? There it is. Decal set. Yes, I hope that's what is supposed to be used for. Because I thought it was kind of like glue. But the times I've used it, it's not worked the way I expect it to. So now in the comments I will have to fear the retribution of everybody saying, Brian, come on, really? Yeah, really, I don't know. I don't know everything. I just know most things. Just kidding, guys. Okay. So, we'll see if that sets down like we want it to. It smells gross. I can tell you that. This Testers Model Master. Hey testers, if you're listening, I keep sending people to your website to buy crap. You should send me some free paint or something. Alright, look at that, guys. Ooh, that's beautiful. That's only 2 hinges too, guys. That's pretty cool. Now you see what I'm talking about. I don't have enough movement to really be satisfied yet. And I'm also not quite square yet, which I'm not real happy about. I need to move one of these over. Now I gotta identify which one that is. I don't even know if I need a third one, to be honest with you. Okay, so which one did I not get squarely in there? Well, that one's not very square. That one's fairly square. I know what you're thinking. Don't cut it, it's gonna never fit. Yes, it will. That was not very well centered, guys. So, cut right next to it, and then blammo whammo. Stick it in the hole, hope it lines up. And look at that, it does. You'll notice I didn't dive as deep on that second cut, by the way. Okay, so now that those are stuck in there, oh geez, this one's not as square as I'd like it, not as centered as I'd like it to be. So I'm just gonna see what I'm doing. I'm cutting about half deep. Okay. So then you slide this in on the new half cut, and then that allows you to get past your initial penetration point. Okay. Ooh, buddy. Probably just do it with the hinge only. Get a little material removed. Ooh, not wanting to go in very good. Now I can follow in there. Remember, you need some material to hang on to with this type of hinge, so you do kind of want to never make a mistake like I did. Of course, nobody's superhuman. I think we all make mistakes. Alright, get in there. Yes! Alright. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, baby. Look at that. It's free. That's always important. Now I'm just going to move it until I want it to be able to be as free as I want it to be. Okay? Then I can reposition it. Guys, I don't know, man. I'm thinking... It's so big I can't even get it in the camera. I hate it when that happens. There we go. It's almost like it doesn't need a third hinge, but then I'm just afraid it's going to want to wiggle. Plus the third hinge will help keep this whole surface strong. So third hinge is always such a pain. Just, oh yeah, she's square now. She's just right down the middle. Okay, so where do we put the third hinge, folks? Probably in the middle. Yeah, that's the middle enough. I don't know why. It's always the third hinge I make the biggest mistake on. It's like subconsciously knowing that it's unnecessary. There it is, guys. I do want to put the head of that bolt up. There's a little bolt that shoots through that mechanism that makes the hinge. There we go. Oh, for God's sake, autofocus. There it is. I want that head up. That way, in the unlikely event that I would have a little glue drip, it'll hopefully help me out. Now, that being said, I'm probably just going to slather some white lithium grease into this hinge. And then when I glue it, because I'll probably use, well, I could use mucilage. And then I wouldn't be as vulnerable to a problem. Okay, so I'm just lining up, and then I can get my point here. Okay, go right to the middle this time instead of doing it wrong the first 3 times. Okay, cool. Got her done. I had thought about wrapping this leading edge blue, the leading edge of the rudder, but I don't know if I'm going to do that either. I think it's just going to end up complicating things. I don't know about you guys, but I am like always tempted not to glue these hinges. Obviously, we're going to have to glue this. Oh, that's pretty gorgeous right there. That action is very delicious. I like it. I like it a lot. I do need to grab this screwdriver. I can pull this hinge out of the... There we go, just like that. Ah, there's... That thing isn't set at all. I don't even know what that crap does. It's probably like extra poisonous poison. You know what we're going to do? We're going to glue it down with some CA because we can. And because that's awesome. Come on. There it is. Yes. Yes. Got it. Now, whatever that horrible chemical is, I'm just going to mix it in there, just for extra excitement. If anything catches on fire, guys, call the fire department. Ooh, that looks pretty good so far. That looks pretty good. Hey, whatever it is, it seems to have worked. Okay. First look, guys. First look. Yes. Oh, it's gorgeous. Of course, there'd be 2 in real life. There'd be a split, and then I think they operate independently. Not sure exactly why that is. Ooh, that's peeling up there too. I may have to get a little CA up under there. I don't want to lose that whole section because that's something I can't easily duplicate. And since we're in the CA mood, jeez, that whole thing was wanting to come off, wasn't it? Okay, now I'm going to use whatever this chemical is, this set stuff. Decal set is what it's called. I don't even know what it does. Probably releasing all sorts of unknown amounts of carcinogens into my lungs right this moment. But it's okay, guys. It's worth it because you get to watch. Ooh, did that want to pull off? Yeah, that spot's a little nasty right there too. Ooh, geez. Okay, good enough. Alright, so the next step is to probably, now that we've vetted everything in terms of its operation, the next step would probably be to glue this thing as well, but I gotta pull this out and glue in the hinges. So that's kind of a scary part. There's a couple of different ways you can do this. The safe and easiest way is to probably use mucilage. It is quite effective, but CA is so quick and it's tempting. I think we're still going to stick with mucilage. This is one of those applications where mucilage can get just as messy as the CA, so just be careful. Okay. Okay, so just one little bit is going to go on the very leading edge of that device. And then you're going to take, in this case, you're going to spread it onto another control surface. Like that. Or not control surface, what am I saying? Another hinge. Okay. You can stick them all into the wing side first, usually is kind of a good idea. Just get them down to about where you want them. And then the best idea is to let it dry, okay? Since you kind of know where they're going to go. And when I say kind of, I mean you know exactly where they're going to go. I'm not going to do that, though. Of course, I'm way too impatient for that. Alright, so we're going to push this down. Now we're going to pull that thing out. And then we're going to take a Q-tip. We got a little bit too much on there. And we're just going to walk it back a little bit. Just walk it back, guys. You want to keep it out of the hinge, okay? It's not going to flow in there like CA, but it'll stick on the outside still. Now, push you back in. And it's going to be odd to get in now. Oh, yeah. She's in there. There ain't no getting her out now. Not without ripping the wing off, although you could do that if you're into it. So now, the reason I did one on here and two over there is just because that's the way they came out. Okay, not any super specific rationale there. Okay, we're going to get just a little bit less this time because it's a smaller surface, so if you do have to take it out later. And by the way, what's the tool we use to undo mucilage, guys? Right there, kicker. Yep, Instaset. I don't know why, don't ask me. Probably some nasty chemical reaction that'll kill me someday. But it works really good for what we're doing now, so I'm going to keep doing it. Okay. Get her in there. Alright guys, here goes nothing. Turn those things to the one side or the other. Get the worst one started first, which is usually the inside hinge. Oh, that stupid little piece of decal. Slip it in. Same thing here. Slip it in. Okay? Now you need to work in the worst corner first, all the way, and then work your way up. Ooh, we got a little bit of glue that's going to work its way into the middle of that middle hinge. Okay? Which, I mean, a little bit you can deal with, okay? You just don't want to have a ton. Now, I would recommend that your hinge opening widens slightly as you go down. And what that's going to do for you because you don't have as much thickness up here, guys. Okay. So then you need to move this thing to the extent that you want it to move, okay? Make sure you got freedom on both sides. And then at this point, you can do one of a few things. You can either fiddle with it a bunch until you screw it up, like I'm going to do, or you can leave it alone, one or the other. I'm going to fiddle with it a bunch until I screw it up, but you get to watch for extra enjoyment. Oh, geez, that thing barely moves now. I'm like going to rip something up. But I want that hinge to be a certain angle, and I will do what it takes to get it there. Because if you don't get this right now, it ain't going to be right. We have freedom, but we're not quite all the way up. We got to bring it up some. Okay? This mucilage kind of reminds me of trying to bend like a rubber stick, you know. Once you get it in there, it just doesn't want to let go. So you got to kind of overwhelm it past the point of no return, and then it'll move. Okay, like this. See? That hinge was slowing down the hinge. Or the control surface. Okay, now that's better. Remember, this has to get done right now. You can't just let this sit until tomorrow or whatever. Okay. The top one didn't ever have a problem. It's when I went to pull this up, it kind of took those hinges from here and kicked them a little bit. But they're free-ish. They feel pretty free, but they're the hinge pins like this, it needs to be more square with the action. Let's see if I can get another tool in there. I don't know how the heck I'm going to get that thing in there. I'm going to have to probably do it this way. I'll do it like this. Try to push it in. Maybe that'll do it. Maybe that'll give me what I need. Then slip it in square. Now repeat the process here, Brian. Yes! Yes! Very close, very close. Now I'm just going to work this back out and get the amount of play I want again. Booyah. We're ready to rock and roll, baby. Now we're going to get a little bit of glue in the hinge. I can already feel it, but that's life in the big city. Alright guys, so we've got this right like this, and I think we're probably, unfortunately, out of time for tonight. Because life continues in my real life. And so my fantasy life will have to be put on pause for the evening so that I can go make a real living. But when we come back, we'll be cutting in this servo, and remember, upside down's the way it's got to be. And this thing, and it's going to be awesome, guys. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, one more look before we go. One more awesome look. Oh yes. Oh yeah. Big beautiful rudder. That's so cool, guys. Don't forget to come back for more. Thanks for watching. Okay guys, I wanted to show you this Cameo thing real quick. Can you show them how this works? Mm-hmm. You've got this sticky backed thing that we load paper onto, and my wife uses it for stuff too, but you can see this is where our, well, that looks kind of cool actually. But it will cut out these things, and you just have to make plots. So I was just going to show you how it works. So we basically load this in here. This is just a regular piece of paper because we're getting our wing coverings figured out to cover up the Airbus airplane, whatever it says that's wrong. And it's actually a really good match. It's silver. This is vinyl. So we're going to go ahead and hit load. Okay. And then we're going to go over here and we're going to click send, right?
Yep.
File send.
Just send the big blue
okay.
button down at the bottom.
Oh, not this.
Yeah, that one.
All right, there.
Should be okay.
So now you can watch it cut. It's going to initiate the blade depth.
And if people are curious, we're using, this is Oracle 651 permanent vinyl.
But this is
not
paper.
Yeah.
So this here,
that's the vinyl
Oracle
that we're going to use.
651 is what she's talking about, and that's what we're going to use when we make our stickers. But for now, we're basically just working with. We used cardstock earlier, so it's very thick, and that's what I was using because it's easier to peel off the papers.
Yep.
Oh, job's already
That's done.
complete.
Yep.
Oh, geez.
Because it's just that template. Yeah.
Okay, so you unload it, and then look, guys, this is how cool it is. And then you peel it off. This is paper. It's the worst product to use in this. And there you have it. Perfectly cut every time. Sharp edges. And what you can do is you can go into your drawing. Let's maximize this. And you can edit the shapes, and you can just do tons of stuff. Tons of stuff. I would have to have an entire video to show you just the, drawing a curve on here. So I don't know that we're going to go into that much detail, but since I showed this in the video, I wanted to show you how we were getting those nice, really detailed pieces. This is how I started though, was just from a picture that I printed out, and I cut it with scissors, and we're done with that now. So now we're going to use this, and at the end of the day, you're going to end up with the cool details like this that are just, you can cut them out, but it'd be extremely difficult. And we're going to cut that at 95% the size, and we'll do black. So there'll be a silver piece, and then there'll be a black piece over it, so you get the silver outline just like the other windows. It's going to look very scale. And just so you know, this was too big, and then we just approximated it, and then we ended up with this, and we tested it, and it was a good fit. So anyway, getting the videos posted right now. Come back for more. Thanks for watching.